Friends, I know where you're at right now. I've been there before. You're looking at your poor Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and blaming everything wrong in the universe on this device. You're looking at, it took me a second to open Instagram. How could I live this way? Samsung's going to offer me $600 for this thing. How do I not trade it in on a shiny Galaxy S25 Ultra? But I'm here to tell you to calm down, take a moment, a deep breath in, slow exhale, and let's take a hard look, an objective look, at the Galaxy S22 Ultra, what you're still getting with this device, and why I think that you should hang on to it for another year. And yes, let's talk about those trade-in offers, because that's going to be the most attractive thing for most people. $600, right? But this wasn't free. You didn't get one of these free. You paid money for this. The going rate for one of these on eBay, in moderately nice condition, is $330. So yes, Samsung is offering you $270 more than what it's worth. But that still means that you're outlaying over $1,000 out of pocket for an S25 Ultra in a year, when I think that you'd be better served waiting to see what Samsung has for the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Because don't forget, Samsung's entire marketing campaign surrounding the S25 Ultra was that it'd be a good upgrade for you, the S22 Ultra user, but not really looking at some of these other smartphones in the market, like the OnePlus 13, like some of these other phones from overseas. So you're not really seeing a lot of the enhancements over there, because Samsung's just like, well, don't worry about that. Worry about your upgrade and what it's going to be like for you coming from an S22 Ultra. So let's take a look at that. Bring the camera around here and let's take a look at these two devices. All right, let's get the obvious bits out of the way right at the top. Is the S25 Ultra an objectively more powerful smartphone than the S22 Ultra? Absolutely. Will you notice a number of upgrades coming from this generation of device? Absolutely. That's not what we're talking about here. I'm not here to say that you should choose the S22 Ultra over the S25 Ultra, even though in effect that's what you're doing. More what you're doing is you're choosing to pass on this one and hold on to this one for another year. And I think there's two reasons why you do that, or rather two outcomes there, and you win either way. Either you get an S26 Ultra that you're excited about and you feel like is a worthy successor to your S22 Ultra, and you go ahead and swap it out next year. Or Samsung takes a big swing, maybe there's no S Pen at all next year, whatever the rumors happen to be, and you don't like what Samsung did with the S26 Ultra, you pick yourself up an S25 Ultra on a nice juicy discount. So I think either way, you have advantages there to hold off and hold on to your S22 Ultra another year. Performance, look, this thing's a beast. Snapdragon 8 Elite is everything it's been advertised as: power efficient, monster, great performance. I've had no issues with my S25 Ultra. It's been an absolute great performer so far. However, the Snapdragon 8 Elite over on this side wasn't exactly a slouch. And unless you're doing high-end AAA gaming, you're playing Genshin Impact 24 hours a day, you're editing photos and videos on your phone, I find it hard to believe that unless you're a power user like that, that you're taxing everything that your S22 Ultra can do. Daily stuff is just as smooth and snappy as ever. Instagram pulls up. Oh, look, pulled up. Actually works. No problem. It's got to load in. Got bad internet down here, but loading in, no problem. Able to scroll. All the stuff that you do on a daily basis, you're going to be able to do on your S22 Ultra. Will you notice a battery difference between these two devices? Absolutely. They both have 5,000 milliamp hour cells, right? But you're getting a more efficient chipset over here on the S25 Ultra. So if you're really sucking wind over here, yeah, you might want to upgrade to the newer device. And while the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 was not the best at launch, and I did not get good battery performance on my S22 Ultra at launch, Samsung has done a good job with software updates, making it better along the way. So where I was struggling to get 6 hours of screen on time, now I'm able to do that. Of course, no match to the 8+ hours of screen on time over here. But that's a decision you're going to have to make. Are you finding that you're having to plug this in by dinner time? Or are you finding that you got 20-30% left at night and that you're okay with the battery life on your S22 Ultra? You got to be honest with yourself, right? Just don't sit there and find ways to blame this thing and say, well, I get more over here. Yes, you do. Absolutely, you get more over here. No one's ever going to argue otherwise. That's a fool's errand. I mean, there's some things that you keep over here that I think are advantages over the new S25 Ultra, but don't let any argument here that this is somehow a better smartphone than this. But whether you need the extra stuff that this is providing right now is a different story. Okay, build quality. This is solid. I like the aluminum frame on here. I happen to like the design. That's something that you really say goodbye to over here. If you look at this phone, this looks like just a Plus device. It looks like a Plus device with an S Pen. This has that kind of Note heritage. This looks like the old Galaxy Note devices. And you can see a direct line from something like this, from the Note 9 to this. You can see how we got from one to the other. So if you just love that Note feeling, you love the Note design, you love the S Pen the way it is with Bluetooth in it, you're going to want to hang on to this and see what Samsung comes up with next year. And while I don't like curved displays, especially on Notes, or Galaxy Ultras, I should say, because the S Pen just kind of slides off the edge when I'm trying to do stuff. I don't like curved displays. But what I do like is the solution that OnePlus came up with. By yes, you can have the relatively flat display. Yes, you got the 2.5D glass that curves it a little bit, but you got a relatively flat display. And what happens there is you have a thinner frame. So what's actually touching my hand feels thinner. Samsung just went along and made this entirely flat. Flat screen on both sides and then a flat frame. So it feels thicker against my hand than it needs to, even though it's technically a smaller and thinner phone than something like the S22 Ultra, the S24 Ultra, the OnePlus 13. It could be a thinner phone and still feel thicker because of the just lack of attention to detail on the design. One of my problems with the S25 Ultra. But Gorilla Glass Victor, or Armor 2, whatever you got over here, okay, ceramic armor, whatever armor is over here now, it's Armor 2. Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. Dropped it a bunch of times, really no issue. It's really just how you treat your phone and whether you put a case on it, whether you're going to need that stronger construction or not. But yes, you have the titanium over here and the aluminum over here. So this one, the S22 Ultra, is a bit thicker. Software support. You're still in support over here. You're going to get One UI 7. How much of the Galaxy AI stuff you get, I don't know. And some of it may have to be off into the cloud. I know you'll probably get a lot of the computational photography enhancements. I know that you're already getting Circle to Search and some other stuff on here already. Gemini Live is going to be coming. There's different things here that you're going to get on the Galaxy AI side. There's a lot of people that just don't want more than that. Let me tell you something. This stuff that we're being sold on now, this Now Brief stuff and the Now Bar and stuff, doesn't really do anything just yet. I don't see how a Now Brief that's basically just giving you an information feed, a news feed, and weather feed couldn't be done on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. And if it's really that taxing and you need to do cloud stuff, well then do cloud stuff. Samsung's already said that everything that they could bring to older hardware, they're going to bring to older hardware. So I think you're going to get the best of both worlds. I think you're just getting a perfect amount of AI on this device with software support, and you're getting security patches until February of 2027. So another 2 full years of security patches over here for your financial apps, your banking apps. You don't have to worry as much on your S22 Ultra. Now here's a couple things. We mentioned the Bluetooth S Pen. Still have that over here, so you can cherish that. 10x periscope zoom. I'm going to put up a couple shots just to show you the camera health on the S22 Ultra as it sits right now without the One UI computational enhancements or whatever Samsung is planning to do with this device. I really like the 10x zoom. You can say whatever you want about the 5x and all the stuff that they add and everything that they do on this device now, and I complained about it at the time when they took it out of the phone. I like having the periscope zoom. I like having that extra zoom in there and be optical. I don't care how good, you could sit there with a magnifying glass and say, well, at 5x, but the 10x performance is the same and the AI could fill in the data. I don't care. I took a 10x photo on this thing this morning that I think is absolutely gorgeous, and I just think it's phenomenal to have that extra versatility there as opposed to the 5x that they're putting in these devices now. So if you hang on to your S22 Ultra, I think you actually pick up a lens and you actually pick up a little camera versatility that you lose on the S25 Ultra. So that's something that you got to take into account as well. Look, like I said, my misgivings with the S25 Ultra have nothing to do with the device itself. This is a device that runs well. This is a device that has premium features, premium build, nice battery life. My problem is for $1,300, there are other manufacturers out there offering more. And if you look at the track record of what Samsung has done the last few years, I think they could have taken a much bigger swing on this, packed it with a lot more tech. But instead of doing that, it's appealing to casual users who don't look at those things that much, are just going to walk into the carrier store and say, you know what, what's the next one? Oh, this one's getting a little slow. Oh, whatever else, and then pick up one of these on a monthly payment. So while I have nothing against, and get a perfect, I enjoy using my S25 Ultra, I can still look at it and say, this is not as good as it should have been. And then you can look at something like your S22 Ultra and say, this is better than probably what you're giving it credit for right now in 2025. So if you're sitting there, if you're saying, how do I pass up $600 on this? How could I possibly not upgrade to an S25 Ultra? Because you don't need to. Because at the end of the day, you don't need to. The performance is there still. The battery life is there still. Heck, I even think the cameras are there still on this to last you another year until you get to something that either you like a little bit more than the S25 Ultra, or you get this on a discount because Samsung has either discontinued the Ultra or it goes in a completely different direction. And that's where I think I stand with these two devices. My money, I'd hang on to the S22 Ultra another year. Give myself the option to see what Samsung does. But then again, if you're a power user, if you're chewing through battery on this, if you're editing stuff, if you're just unhappy with the limitations you feel and you want a 2025 smartphone with all the specs and bells and whistles of a 2025 smartphone, pick up the S25 Ultra. You're going to be happy with this. It's fine. Okay? I'm just saying that if you're on the fence about it, you're not sure, you're not completely sold on this phone because of some of the stuff you lose from over here, don't feel bad hanging on to your S22 Ultra another year. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve Delicious day.